I need to brush my teeth. Hey all my lovelies, it's FabuLex. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to another episode. I thought I would do a tutorial on how to use certain brushes. These are the oval brushes and they have been kind of trending all over like social media for a while now. And I haven't really seen too many in-depth tutorials on how to use them. So I decided that I would just make my own little tutorial on how I like to use these brushes for myself on a day-to-day basis because I love these brushes. I love the quality, I love the way they feel, and I love the way they handle, and I love the way they apply the product to the face. So this specific brand called Docolor had actually contacted me on Facebook. So after a little bit of discussion and conversation, I managed to get a discount for these brushes, and so these were sent to me to review for my channel. So though I'm doing this for Docolor as a review for them, so I'm not being compensated at all through any of the processes, whether you buy them or not. I don't get any of that extra stuff. That all goes to Docolor. I'm just the vessel for the coupon code basically, and to tell you my opinion on these brushes. So I've been using these brushes for about a month now just so I can get a nice feel on how to use them, because for a while I was using the conventional brushes that are just like straight handled, you know, just straight handled brushes that didn't have any kind of fanciness going on. So then switching to these brushes, they had a different kind of handle and a different way of applying the product and just a different way of handling things that I had to get used to. So I didn't want to just start off by just throwing out how I use brushes because I didn't even know how to use them yet. So I love the packaging that these come in. They come in a clear, you know, case so you can see the brushes themselves, and then you have the brand name and then the name of the product itself. So you get the 10-piece set brushes. They're called Mermaid Multi-Purpose Brush. On the back it says the designer inspiration is from Mermaid, the fascinating body with her fishtail. Hope everyone can start makeup to inherit mermaid's beauty and uniqueness. And another thing I like about this packaging is on the back there's a chart on how to utilize each brush to its, like, basically to its fullest potential. So each brush kind of almost has a multi-purpose use for it. I'll go ahead and take this out. I just wanted to show you what it looked like in the packaging. So just to let you know before we start on this, I am already moisturized with my face, and as y'all know, I love to use my Dermalogica Intensive Moisture Balance Moisturizer. Using my 12-hour primer by Hard Candy. And then for my foundation, I'm using the Fit Me Foundation Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is in the shade 340 Cappuccino. Another cool thing about this brush set is that it also comes with the holder, the 10-piece set, and then you get a really awesome brush cleaning tool. When I started using these brushes, I found in order to apply the product evenly and smoothly, I had to get the brush either a little bit wet with water or even kind of dampen it with a little bit of oil of some kind. I don't recommend using coconut oil because I found coconut oil usually takes off makeup rather than kind of really applies it, so I don't really recommend that. However, vitamin E oil works pretty well. About 5 drops, just kind of all over the brush, sometimes 6. It kind of depends on the foundation and what the consistency of the foundation is. I found the Fit Me foundation is a little bit more liquidy, so I don't need to use too much of the oil. And lately what I've been doing that I like to do is I'll just kind of dip lightly into the foundation on the back of my hand, and I'll start in the area where I want the most coverage with the foundation. They don't absorb the product like sponges do, so they have a better coverage and kind of work your foundation like it's supposed to. I start in circular motions, as y'all know, I cover the beard area. And I have a lot of dry skin sometimes, and so if I feel like if I do circular motions on my face when I'm doing foundation, it'll just bring that out if I don't exfoliate enough, or even if I'm doing the circular motions with my makeup. But I found that these brushes are so soft and so generous with the product and how it's applied that I have never even had a bad application, even when my skin is really having a bad day. So this oval tip brush is also the biggest brush in the entire set. So I went ahead and put on my eyebrows, but I haven't highlighted and defined them yet because I'm going to use the brushes for them later. So these next 3 brushes can be kind of interchangeably used depending on how big your face is or what you're using it for. So this is the Oval 9 brush, and this brush can be used for cheek blush, cheek contour, foundation, and setting powder. This is the Oval 8 brush, and it's slightly smaller than the Oval 9 brush. Apparently this can be used for eyeshadow contour, cheek blush contour, and setting powder. I feel like this is a little bit big for your eyeshadow. If you really want some coverage with your eyeshadow, I mean, So this is the Oval 7 brush, and it's slightly more flat and leveled off than the Oval 8 and 9 brush. Same general oval shape though. Again, this can be used for eyeshadow color, cheek contour, concealer, foundation, and setting powder. I honestly like to use the Oval 7 brush to blend out my contour areas. So I apply the product with one brush, and then I can just like kind of buff it out with this brush. Now this is the Oval 6 brush, which is basically a miniature version of the Oval 7 brush. However, this brush can be used for lip color and eyeshadow color, and can also be used for concealer. I honestly love using using this to blend out my concealer now. If I have a little bit more of a creamy or liquid foundation, I love to blend it out with this. And lately, these two brushes have been my power duo brushes as far as contouring with cream and liquid concealers. So again, this is the Oval 6 brush. And then now we have the Oval 4 brush. Now the Oval 4 brush is really, really skinny. As you can see, it's just really narrow. It's a little bit rounded on the end. The Oval 4 brush can be used for eyeshadow contour, brow contour, eyeliner, and also concealer. For this brush, I do love to apply my concealers. It is a little bit big for my eyebrows, but it's definitely one that I love to use to apply my concealers with. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all of my highlighting and contouring type stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear that wind right now. It's crazy right now. Oregon just had a tornado. I don't know if you heard about that. It's a little bit crazy. I did see the video and I was like, Judgment Day! I've been so used to using the Anastasia cream contour kit that it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how I maneuvered this more liquidy type of cream contours type stuff. I love unboxing things. It feels like Christmas. I feel like that's why most people buy makeup, because it's just an excuse to like celebrate something that doesn't exist. We'll just have a makeup day. Mondays are makeup day. So just for tutorial purposes, I'm going to show you how I apply the liquid concealers with the Oval 5 brush, and then also how I blend it out with the Oval 6 brush. Dab into the product a little bit. And now I'll blend it out with the Oval 6 brush, which is that more rounded flat top. And I do kind of more sweeping motions, like gentle sweeping motions, kind of like buff it into the skin rather than like doing circular motions, because I don't really feel too comfortable about doing circular motions under the eye area, because I feel like that's a lot of tugging. I figured I'd show you all the powers of the brush, blending it out as I go. Around the chin area, I don't mind doing circular motions, plus it makes it a little bit easier to blend out. So for my powders, I'm going to be using the Oval 7 brush, and my setting powders today, I'm using the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And I'm just like lightly dabbing this on. I'm not going to rub it on because that's just going to like make the concealers smear and look all kinds of like uneven and gross. So for my cream contour, I'm actually going to jump all the way down to the Oval 2 brush. So you can see the Oval 2 brush has a really extended bristle outwards, but it's rounded on the ends. This can be used for lip contour, eyeshadow color, and also concealer. Another thing I like about these brushes, like I said, is that they're curved. For my nose contour, I feel like it's just a lot easier to just apply the product. But these brushes are curved just so that you can actually, they're made so that you can apply the product to your face. So they're made so that the way that your hand is positioned to your face and how you apply the product, it just makes it a little bit more conventional to apply the product since it's curved. I still like using both, but that's the reason why they're curved, in case you were wondering. Now I'm gonna go back in with the Oval 7 brush to blend out. And with this, I do use circular motions to blend out up and away from the face, just like Washington's wig. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm sure there's other ways that other people apply the product with these brushes, but what works for me, you know. Then to blend out the nose, I use the Oval 6 brush just because it's slightly smaller. It's okay, we'll have a Beyonce contour. Now to set the cream contour, I'm going to be using the Fit Me foundation setting powder. This is pressed powder. And I'm using the Oval 7 brush, which is that kind of slightly flatter, rounded off brush. Make everything blend together a little bit more seamlessly. Pat, pat, pat. So next, what I'm going to go ahead and do is define underneath my cheekbone really quick, and while that bakes underneath the cheekbone area, I'll go ahead and define my eyebrows. And I'm using the Oval 6 brush. Now this brush is a miracle tool. This is the Oval 3 brush. It can be used for eyes, brows, and eyeliner. I haven't used it for eyeliner yet, but I love using it to contour my nose with, and I love using it for shaping underneath my eyebrows. You can see that the Oval 3 brush is about 2 times smaller than the Oval 5 brush. And here's the Oval 4 brush. So they are all about the same general shape, slightly different on width. They're all narrow. And again, the fact that this brush is curved just makes it a lot easier just to get right underneath the brows. And I just love defining my brows with this because it just makes it almost effortless to just make a nice crisp line underneath. Also, all products will be listed in the description box on what I have on my face. So like I said, I'm going to try and stick with using all the oval brushes for this face. I'm going to use the Oval 1 brush to blend out the edges of this concealer. And like I said, I love using it to contour my nose, so just a nice little thin line down the center of the nose. And then lightly blend out with the Oval 1 brush. I'll just use the lightest shade Undercover, which is that a really nice... Y'all hear that rain outside? like a dog's taking a piss. So what I'm going to do for y'all is apply a little bit of eyeshadow, and I'm going to use a couple of brown shades out of the Morphe 35N matte palette. Love this palette so far. Swatched it again on my Snapchat. So the two shades I'll take just to get a little bit of color on the eyelids is these two brown shades in the corner. Again, using the Oval 1 brush. Circular motions on the outer edge, just kind of lightly blend out. This almost makes it easier to apply eyeshadow now that I'm actually trying it. So going in with that darker brown, just directly into the crease. I'll also just sweep a little bit of those colors underneath the eye area. I love the pigments in this eyeshadow palette. They are just amazing. And they do last as well. And then out of the Lorac Unzipped palette, I'll just use a little bit of Unreal on the eyelid. Pack it on with my finger, just so that we have a little bit of color on the eyelid. I usually like to apply my eyeshadows with my finger on my eyelid area anyway. That way I can just get it super opaque right from the start. I'll apply a little bit of Undiscovered in the inner corner. These two are the lightest shimmer highlights out of the Lorac Unzipped palette. Love using them. And I'll apply a little bit of Unreal on the brow bone. I'm using the Oval 7 brush. I'll go ahead and dust off the remaining Sacha powder. Honestly, y'all, I'm just gonna do it with regular eyeliner. And this is the FabuLiner by Jordana. My lashes today are Go Glam Lashes by Salon Perfect. They're my favorite dupe for red cherry lashes, number 43. You get a little wisp out of them. My lipstick today is the Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in the color Como. And this is by Stila Cosmetics. Ooh, this is like a beautiful, beautiful purple fuchsia color. And I'm going to use my Oval 1 brush to apply the lipstick with, since I want to, again, stay with the brush theme. And I really like to use these for blending the lips as well. And since this is a matte formula, I make sure that my lips are nice and exfoliated and moisturized, but also then dry afterwards.
And then of course,
you have to have your FabuLex makeup highlighter glow. And so this is the final look after using the Docolor 10-piece brush set. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope this was informative. And I hope this tutorial really helps you explore your brushes a little bit more before you like throw them aside and, you know, be like, nah, I don't want to try these. Because that's usually how I am with stuff when I don't quite understand it and then don't really have the time to really understand it and learn about it. But, you know, just take your time and figure out what works for you and what brushes work for, you know, the contours of your face and the areas of your face. Personally, I love these brushes. I think I give them a 10 out of 10. The softness of the brushes is great. It does not irritate the skin. It does not really, you know, lift any of the skin cells. It, like, doesn't really exfoliate the face. It's just really soft. It's really smooth. The application of the brushes is full coverage. It does not absorb the product of any of the liquids, foundations, concealers, anything that you put on your face. They're really easy to work with. Again, they are curved, so you can really get the contours of your face. These are from Docolor. I have a 20% off discount code in the description box below, along with a link to this little bundle. You get a brush egg tool to clean your brushes, along with the brush holder, and then of course your 10 brush set as well. So you get all of this along with the 20% off discount when you go to checkout and all that stuff. Like I said, for those who have the oval brushes or any kind of version of the oval brushes, I hope that this is kind of like a nice version for any of the oval brushes overall to like figure out how to work them and figure out what works for you. I know there's different ways of applying and using them for different reasons. So just find out what works for you. Thank you so much all for watching, and thank you for the love and support. So much love to you. Stay beautiful inside and out. I don't think there's anything else to say. Stay tuned for more from FabuLex Makeup.